Hey, every pony! Welcome back to Pony Talk. Just some minor wardrobe changes. Gone are the ties, and in are bow ties, because bow ties are cool. And going with a Peggy Carter thing with that here. Hey, all the cool mares have streaks in their manes and tails. Man, it gives me a little bit of extra color. Even though I'm veering very closely to the dreaded black and red OC. Ooh! Anyway, let's get to the crux of this episode, which of course is Moondancer and her friends, or rather, lack thereof. And actually, while I really did enjoy Amending Fences, I feel its message is a bit muddled. While it is very important to have friends, I don't think you should have friendship forced upon you. There are some people who just prefer to be by themselves for the most part. But there is a very important distinction about being by yourself and being alone. And this comes from someone who sometimes prefers the former but is deathly afraid of the latter. And I think Moondancer is kind of like that. I mean, I know there's a moment in the episode where she says this.
I tried friendship, and it's just not for me.
But I think that's just more of a defensive mechanism after Twilight left. After all, we did get this scene later in the episode.
Please, you've got to let me make this up to you. And you think this is gonna do it, huh? Yes? Well, sure, why wouldn't it? That was only the first time I ever put myself out there, and then you didn't even bother to show up. Then you left town without saying goodbye, even though we were supposed to be friends. I was humiliated. I felt like I wasn't important. I never wanted to let myself be hurt like that again. Those three finally convinced me that I had value, that other ponies might like me and want to be my friend. And you didn't show up! Ah!
And while that is a heart-wrenching scene, I think it's there that is the crux of her problem. She puts too much emphasis on Twilight being her friend. While the other three were more than willing to be her friends, it seemed Moondancer only focused on what Twilight thought of her. In fact, it's my belief that that's why Moondancer looks so much like Twilight in canon. She is quite literally modeling herself after her. I think Minuet put it best.
That's old Moondancer, all right. She always did like her books. Hey, kind of like you used to be, huh?
Exactly how I used to be.
And you can see even Twilight realized Moondancer was like her, but in the bad ways. Now, why would she become so attached to Twilight? Well, again, I kinda gotta turn to Minuet on this one.
Was she always like this?
Well, she always was a little shy, but for a while there she was really starting to come out of her shell. Remember when she threw that party? Oh, right. I think you might have been busy that day.
There you are, Twilight. Moondancer is having a little get-together in the West Castle courtyard. You want to come?
Oh, sorry, girls. I got a lot of studying to catch up on.
Thought she might finally be letting her guard down a little with that party. We invited her out a few times after that, but she was always too busy studying. So eventually, we just stopped asking.
Between Minuet's coming out of her shell remark and Moondancer's breakdown of the party later, I think it's fair to say that she was always a bit of a shy, withdrawn, maybe even awkward filly. She was an introvert, maybe even extremely so. Maybe she just had trouble making other friends and talking to other ponies. So, whenever she met Twilight and found some pony else who was so much like her, she kind of formed a bond. And maybe an unhealthy one if Twilight really was the first pony she opened up to. Now, I can sympathize with Moondancer a bit because when I was younger I had trouble opening up too, and had only a small group of friends. In fact, it wasn't until much later in my life when I met a friend who got me to come out of my shell and be a little more extroverted than I was when I was younger. and he has since moved away, but we stay in contact and see each other at least once a year, and it's always a treat to see him. He's a great guy. But he was very much an extrovert, whereas, as I said, Twilight was an introvert. She preferred to study than interact with other ponies. And it's seen Moondancer follow that example to the extreme. Once Twilight left, she completely shut herself off to even her other close friends, which is just not a good thing to do. One of the sad facts of life is you are just going to value some friends over others, but you should never do the point where you're going to close off those other friends when that one special friend goes away for whatever reason. Minuet, Lemon Hearts, and Twinkle even admit to still wanting to be Moondancer's friends. They tried. She just cut herself off from them because Twilight left without saying goodbye. And let's not kid ourselves, that was kind of a jerk move for Twilight to do, but she herself was still more into books than other ponies at that point. Still, we do have to point out how it affected those three.
Oh, come on, Twilight. Sure, it might have stung a little bit when you ran off to Ponyville without saying goodbye, but it's not like we weren't used to that from you.
Yeah, we didn't take it personally, but it's really good to see you now. Hey, any pony up for a blast from the past?
And how it affected Moondancer.
Oh my gosh! Moondancer? Is that... Shh! Moondancer, can I talk to you for a minute? Shh. What is this?
A bubble of silence. I haven't seen you in a while, and I thought it might be nice to catch up.
For what purpose?
You know, 'cause we're friends.
Shh!
Yeah, you see the differences there? The other three are bubbly and happy, while Moondancer is quiet and bitter. And of course, while Twilight is saying this is all her fault, Moondancer does share some of the blame, as I've said. She needs to not see Twilight as her one true only special friend, and see the value of Minuet, Lemon Hearts, and Twinkleshine. Yeah, I'm glad by the end of the episode she did, but I still can't help but feel she gave herself a few, I don't know, years, again, I don't know the timeline of this, of misery because she was being kind of stubborn. Again, it can be devastating when a friend leaves, either just because they had to move away, either you had a fight, they moved on in their lives, whatever reason. I've moved apart from a lot of my friends, and I do regret it. I wish I could find a way to get back in contact with them. But I didn't let it stop me from trying to make new friends. It can be very hard to put yourself out there, especially if you are introverted. But I do feel you need to have some friends. Again, do it the way you're comfortable. Don't force it upon someone else or let someone force it upon you. It has to be a genuine friendship. If I've learned nothing else from this show, it is that friendship is magic, and that we all need someone important in our lives. But friendship also isn't easy. It is a thing you have to work at. You both have to work at it. As in any relationship, there must be a give and take. Don't focus all of your attention on one friend because you never know when they might leave. Appreciate all the friends you have, because if they really are your friends, they will take you and care for you, faults and all. It's a lesson I'm glad Moondancer learned, and judging by her quick appearance in the Season 5 finale, has taken to heart. It'd be nice to see her again in Season 6 and see how well she's grown. Heck, maybe she's even gotten friends beyond those three. That'd be a really great thing to see. But I guess only time will tell, and let's just keep our hooves crossed that we get to see her again. Of course, while I don't think Twilight is fully to blame for Moondancer going back into her shell, she does share some of the responsibility, which kind of makes me wonder, is Twilight really a good friend? Join me next time when I talk about our Princess of Friendship and how even she might still have a lot to learn on the subject. Until then, I am, Birdie again, and I'll see you guys again for more— Wait! there's something I gotta do. Moonbeam, Moondancer, Moondancer, Moonbeam. 2 moons for the price of 1.
Things may come and things may go. Some go fast and some go slow. Few things last, that's all I know. But friendship carries on through the ages.